Forgive the noise in the background. I'm in my living room when I'm normally in my room for these videos, but whatever. With that said, my HP printer here has finally stopped working after many years of use. The print head is either completely damaged or it's clogged. I can get it replaced for about $40 with a replacement off of Amazon and whatnot, which is probably what I'm going to do because this is still a good printer and I really don't want to get rid of it. But if it doesn't end up working after I get that replacement, I'll just return the head I got to replace it with, get my money back, and then return it to, not return it, but take it over to Free Geek and have them do the recycling and whatnot. The major reason why I want to get this thing back up and running again is because the printer my parents use is this little pile of crap can with a little itty bitty printer ink. This thing really doesn't last long, while this thing lasts for a very long time. But I need a replacement printer in the meantime. This is my replacement printer. I got myself a office grade HP printer. Now this is a fairly old printer from 2013 and it's been discontinued. But even still, this is still a fully functioning printer and they still make ink for it. I can buy a first party, which is stupid, or I can buy a third party, which is what I'm going to do, just like with my previous HP printer. But with that said, the ink cartridges in this thing are massive compared to the printer that I originally had. Now, another thing to note is that this printer here goes for about $1,000 on eBay still. I got this for 25 bucks and it fully works. As you can see, I plugged it in, did the head alignment and all that crap, make sure everything works, and I even got free printer ink. Now there is one little issue with showing the cartridges. They kind of leak if I don't do it right, so I gotta figure out how exactly I'm gonna pull the cartridge out without having it just spill all over the place. But at the very least, I can do this. You can already tell those are not normal cartridges. So I'm going to try and pull out one of these cartridges without having it leak all over the place. So I'll be right back. And here is the cartridge I just pulled out. As you can see, it is massive. Now, to give you a real idea of the scale of this thing, here is the all-in-one cartridge for the Canon that my parents currently use. Completely dwarfed. And remember, this is an all-in-one, or a 3-in-1, so this thing barely lasts, or as it stands, and it's just completely dwarfed by this. And the yellow cartridge for my current HP printer that again broke on me, and it is also dwarfed. And due to the way this cartridge is designed, you can see the actual ink reservoir is pretty puny. So again, this printer here is going to last so much longer than this printer or this printer. Now, the cartridges for this thing, even third party, are a tad expensive. They're about $60 or so compared to like $300 for official HP printer ink, which is crazy. But considering how massive just one of these cartridges are, I don't think I'll be buying another set of these in a very long time. So with that said, I'm now going to put this back in my printer before I make it leak all over the place like I did with the original black one. So yeah. Alright, got the drivers installed on my laptop here. And now I just want to show how quickly this thing actually prints stuff. So like what, 10 seconds flat, give or take. Full color, and for third-party cartridges, this doesn't look half bad at all. It's not 100% accurate, which is to be expected with third-party cartridges, but this thing prints so fast. And the little mechanism right here, when all the little clicking noises and all the noises this thing makes, I personally like this thing compared to my other printer. And of course, it's not just because this printer has massive cartridges. I like the way this thing legitimately sounds. Now, with that said, the black does show to be a little low. All the colors, then the blue's like right about here, so which you really can't see due to the blown out contrast. So yellow's right around here, blue's around here, red's around here, and black's around here. So even though the cartridges are fairly low, considering this is an office grade and you saw the size of just the yellow cartridge, I don't see me replacing those cartridges anytime soon. And if any cartridge is going to get replaced soon, it's going to be the black. And even then, it's probably going to be like maybe 6 months from now. But with that said, I do need to do a proper real world test on this printer, and that is going to be me rebuilding my life-size min-may again. That won't be for a little while though, because I still need to gather up all the crap I normally get for this thing. I need to make sure I got enough hot glue, got enough jumbo popsicle sticks, got enough paper, basically all the crap I need that's necessary for a rebuild. And I also need to go into Blender and add informers into the min-may model, so when I actually go to rebuild her, it's a little more easier on me. But that will actually be my real world test for this printer. But for the time being, I need to get a roller caster thing for the bottom. That way so I can move this thing around, because this thing is quite heavy. And unfortunately, I'm a weak ass. So my father, I believe Friday, we're going to go down to my local hardware store, get a little caster roller seat thing, I forget what they're called. And we're going to use that way so I can lug this thing around the house and whatnot. But that'll more or less be the end of the video when on Friday, I'm currently recording this on Wednesday, when I figure out where exactly I'm going to put this thing in my room. I have a few ideas of where I'm going to place it, but for right now, it's just all up in the air because, again, this thing is just huge. But with that said, I will come back Friday. Alright, it's now Friday, and I got it back in my room finally. Finally got it in my room. So me and my father went to my local hardware store, got a little wooden dolly thing, whatever you call it, with some caster wheels on it, screwed it to a little wooden platform that we cut, and now I'm able to lug this thing around. And generally speaking, where I'm thinking of putting this is I'm planning on putting it right here. I'll lose this nice big old open area here, but I've lost this area in the past when I used to have a 30-gallon fish tank right here. But unlike a 30-gallon fish tank, this thing's going to be a lot more usable. So with that said, I'm going to figure out exactly where the middle of everything is for both. Well, actually I know where the middle for this thing is. I have it marked here. I got to figure out where the middle of this is. And then I got to properly place it. And then I got to figure out all the cable management and whatnot for both this and everything else over here and whatnot, because I got a few power strips here and everything else. So I'll figure that all out off camera, get this thing all put in place and come back. Alright, I got it generally set up. I got it powered on, as you can tell. So if you have to go through the wiring and whatnot for my other stuff here, but generally speaking, this is how I have everything planned. So more than likely what I'll end up doing is I'll just end up moving this thing over to here. But the reason why I haven't done that right now is I need to make sure that I can actually fit it in there and not constantly bump into it when I back in and out of my computer area and whatnot, because the last thing I want to do is keep bumping into a $1,000 printer and eventually breaking it because I keep bumping into it too much. But I know with this it'll work completely fine. I just lose quite a bit of real estate in my room. But if I end up putting it over there like I was thinking, more than likely what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this guy right over there, because I rarely get into this little area right here, so I can just put it there without any problems. But again, I'll also have some weird issues trying to get it out of my room, so definitely some more rework in my room if I'm to be quite honest. More than likely what I'll just end up doing is I'll just end up buying a slightly higher end model of this and probably just sticking it there, but then again I won't have any place for my standees, just like this one right here. But again, I'll figure things out. More than likely though, it'll just end up staying here. And probably what I'll end up doing is I'll just end up getting like one of those small computers from Free Geek and make a custom little, get a little small screen and whatnot, make a custom little area. That way so I can just do all my printing off that, because I'm not going to be connecting this to network and whatnot. Hence why I got this laptop right here for right now. That's what I'm going to be doing all my printing from. or if I can get a long enough printer cable, just drone it all the way over to my main desktop here. But for right now, like I said, this is where everything's going to go, and I'll just get all the wiring for this crap figured out, and yeah. Alright, got everything set up, got all my cables from my computer, but TV all set back up. So generally speaking, all the wiring's the way I want. I have my printer set to the way I want. I have my little Lenovo laptop set up on the top right there. That way, so when I want to actually print something from this thing, I just take it from my computer here via flash drive and whatnot, plop it onto that computer, and I hit print. Now, yes, it is a little annoying, but I'm not going to take a chance and have them brick my $1,000 $1,000 printer that I got for $25. I don't think they can actually do that though, but I'm not risking them bricking this. So with that said, that's more or less it for this video when it comes to the HP printer for right now. I do plan on getting something a little more custom set up for a computer interface than what I'm currently using, because yes, it works, but it's a little big and a little unnecessary for essentially just getting it to print something. I have a few ideas of what I want to do, but that'll be down the road. So for right now, that is pretty much it for my very nice office grade printer.